How many times have you written a cool new riff, but then you're like, that sort of sounds like the one I wrote yesterday or last week or last month. Everything just kind of starts sounding the same. Well, I've got 4 things I want you to try, 4 techniques we're going to break down that you can put these into your riffs right now, and it's going to change everything. This riff will not sound like the last one or the one before that. Before we get started, I want to make sure you have my free Metal Riffs and Licks Ultimate Metal Guitar Practice Guide. This is something I give away to all of my YouTube subscribers. So there's a link in the description here. After you finish watching this video, make sure you grab a copy of that. This first technique, I really don't know if I can call it a technique, but it's simply playing in a different key than what you're used to playing in. This can literally, just this one tip alone, can literally change everything about the riff and then bring forth new ideas. It's probably the single best thing that you can do if you really want something new and fresh. So a lot of times as metal guitar players, we tend to focus on the lower notes, you know? Nothing wrong with that. That sounds cool. It's part of why we love metal so much. Or we may play some other notes or start it out with some other chords or whatever, but we typically play in keys that we're comfortable in. Now, in the case of the riff I'm demonstrating here, I'm in the key of D minor. So we've got these chords going on here. So that's my challenge to you, is pick a riff that you're playing, especially if it's a chord progression, and just play it somewhere else. Start it in a completely different key. You know, we went here. What if I'm used to writing in that key? Like, let's say Jason writes in D minor a lot. Well, what if I said, let's just play it somewhere else? Why not C minor? What would it sound like there? Okay, same riff, but there's a little bit different character to that. And my point here is, not only do you get the character out of that, the character change, but you're also going to start hearing new things as you play in this different key and play notes and chords you're not used to playing. So I can't harp on this technique enough, if we want to call it a technique, is simply play your riff in a different key. Play it somewhere else where you're not used to playing it at. The second thing you can do is take a regular power chord, but let's chop it up a bit. Not only did we go back and forth and pick out some single notes within the power chord, going back and forth on those 2 strings, we also changed the second note of that power chord in some cases here. So this is one thing, if you're just playing normal power chords, which that sounds cool, we're actually going to do something with that in the next tip. But instead of always doing that, you can throw this technique, this 2-for-1 punch right here, going back and forth between both the notes of the power chord, and then also changing that second note along the way. One more time. Pretty cool, right? Now, that rolls right into the next technique that you can use. And this is going to be real simple, but check this out. After we do that in the riff, let's play this through. I'm letting the power chords ring out. So beyond just playing a power chord and letting it ring out, actually there's a little caveat to that as well we'll go over, but the goal here, the goal in this case for my riff was, okay, I did, you know, some cool melodies with the chopped up power chords, the single notes, the changing of that second note. That sounded cool. Now I want what's called contrast. And I personally love doing this in music and in riffs when I'm writing, especially when I hear it in other music too. When the riff, the song is going in this direction, and then all of a sudden you let it breathe. And I'm a big fan of letting the song breathe. You don't have to be going 90 miles an hour or playing as many notes as possible throughout the entire song. Sometimes you want to sit back and let's let those chords hang out a little bit. Maybe let the bass do something in that case, right? But in any case, what we're doing here is we're keeping the same cadence, right? Again, a very simple strategy. I'm playing the variation of the power chords there, and you can choose whatever variation you want. And by variation, I mean just changing that second note around. You don't have to do that either. You could just do this. But listen once again to the contrast between the two and how this builds, how it helps just take the song into a new dimension. Check this out. It changes the direction. You start going down a slightly different path, which we're building a story here. You're building a story when you write your own riffs, and when you put all these little things that you hear inside your head and you apply them. And that's what this video is all about. It's just giving you some different techniques and tactics to use when you're riff writing. Because after you watch this video, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to try some of this stuff on my own riffs. That's exactly what I want you to do. Now, the final technique I want to share with you here, and this is a very simple technique as well. I'm going to play this all the way through. This is a very short riff, by the way, but I'm going to play it all the way through. Listen to one thing that sounds completely different from everything else I'm playing. So did you catch the difference towards the end? I did something completely different with a chord, a different chord, but something that you might not hear a whole lot of when it comes to playing metal music, and a lot of what you might not do, right, when it comes to writing your own riffs. I encourage you to throw this in. Here's the chord, and here's what I did. All I'm doing is just playing a G minor bar chord, the complete bar chord. And I'm picking these notes out. I'm arpeggiating this. So instead of, we're going. My point to that specific technique is don't be afraid to play some full chords and single out those notes. Just pick those out and maybe arpeggiate it. I'm adding a little palm mute. I'm just arpeggiating all the way down, a little more than halfway down, and then coming back up, and that's it. You don't have to arpeggiate that way. Pick out whatever notes you want to pick out, whatever fits your riff at that time. Now, if you like the song in the intro, the one that we just went over here, I actually have that as a lesson in the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy. So if you're part of my academy, make sure you go to monthly lessons. I think it's lesson number 94. You've got the video lesson and the tabs and the backing tracks. So if you haven't gone through that, go through it. If you'd like to learn more about the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy, check it out. There's a link in the description. Now, I'd like to know in the comments what key you play in most of the time. Remember, that was one of the techniques, the first one we covered here, and I'll be honest, that's the absolute biggest thing that you can do. If you play that riff in a different key, a different spot on your fretboard, things are just going to happen magically almost, because you're just going to get these new ideas, and just this wave of creativity is going to come over you. I know I'm over exaggerating this, but seriously, play it in a different spot. Play it in a different place you're not used to playing in. That will change everything. That alone could change everything. So again, I hope this helped you, and as always, keep it metal and keep playing music.